Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the last day of December 2025, and we are bidding adieu to 1 year, and we are allowing ourselves to enter into another year with an open heart. So our focus will be on, I'm thinking about those Buddhist monks who are traveling for, I think, 120 days from Georgia to Washington on a peace march. And it's so beautiful to see them walking through these communities. And they're walking really to open the heart of the world and to remind people about compassion and connection. So that is the theme for today. So we'll just be on our backs. And you can, if you like, you can raise your knees up. You can put your feet as wide as the mat and knock your knees together and just open your arms palms up on the floor, or you can lay with your legs out. But that is a constructive rest pose with your knees up and your knees up, your feet wide and your knees together. It's a very lovely opening for your lower back. So while you're stretched out on the floor, we're just going to breathe, which we always do, but we're going to breathe with a little bit more intention. And we are going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and put your attention on your still body. And you can gather awareness to your breath, to each inhalation and each exhalation. And you can turn down the volume of whatever it is that is bothering you. And you can turn up the volume of a sense of release, a sense of integration, a sense of connection, and of peace. And you can drop into your physical heart. You can imagine that space, that beautiful, amazing, miraculous machine that pumps our blood, that keeps us moving. From this cave of your heart, what quality would you like to embody in your practice today? What quality in your heart would you like to enact in your life? So just listen to your heart for a moment. Maybe it's kindness or compassion or a willingness to love more openly and fully. As you feel this quality, you can embody this quality and let it saturate your whole body, your whole being. Be present to yourself, for yourself, just as you are, and extend gratitude to yourself and each other for showing up today to be on the mat together. And we're just going to have our breath inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We're just going to bring our feet together. Our knees are up at this point, and we're going to draw our feet towards our hips And we're going to move towards the bridge, although we're going to do it very gently here. So we're just going to press our feet into the ground, and we're going to tilt our pelvis up and lift our pelvis up and our spine just a little bit. And then we're going to roll back down very gently. And now we're going to tilt our pelvis up and roll back down. And you can keep doing that, or you can come into a full bridge this time. I'm just pressing into the ground, pressing my pelvis up, and then my chest and my thighs, and I'm drawing my hands underneath me. And I'm doing this quite gently because it's just at the beginning of the class. My knees are moving towards the opposite wall, and I'm feeling the kind of curvature of my spine. It should feel like a relief. And we're tilting our pelvis so that we are protecting our lower back and pressing into our legs and into our feet. And now we're going to extend our hands on the floor towards our feet and just roll down gently, vertebra by vertebra. Good. All right. And now we're going to take our legs up and clasp our shins or our thighs and just roll gently here. Good. Raise your arms and legs up and just shake your arms and legs. This is dead bug, and it's a very nice release. So whatever residue of worries or thoughts that you might have, you can just shake them off in this dead bug pose. Very good. And put our knees down again. Open your arms out, and we'll just do a gentle twist. We'll lift our hips up, shift them to the right, drop your knees to the left, and look towards your right arm. And breathe and feel that open heart. Breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now shift our knees back to the center, center your pelvis, and then shift your hips to the opposite direction and drop your knees so that you're twisting the other way. And you can look at the opposite arm here. You could put your hand on your thigh, your upper thigh, if you like. That will deepen the stretch. You might find that that is too much, in which case don't bother. We're just breathing here. All right, now come back with your hips centered on the ground. And we're just going to bend our knees into our chest. And then we're going to lift our right leg up, press it to the ceiling, and then lift our left leg up and press it into the ceiling. And then really feel that you're drawing your legs back far enough so that your feet are directly over top of your hips. So it means that I tend to have my feet too close to my head when I'm imagining they're over my hips. And once again, we're just pressing the heels and the soles of the feet into the ground. Good. All right. So let's bend our left knee, put the foot on the ground. The right leg is up. And you can, if you like, straighten that left leg out on the floor, or you can leave it bent. And here, I'm just going to hold on to my thigh, and I'm going to draw my foot towards me, draw my leg towards the floor while I'm drawing my leg towards my hands towards me. So there's an oppositional pull here. And you can go further up your leg if you like. You could also have a strap here if you like. And here I'm just working with isometric muscular strain, which is very good for you. So we're moving in two directions here, drawing with your hand and drawing back with your leg. Good. All right. Now bend that knee and put it down and lift the other leg up and do the same thing. So we're pressing that leg into the ceiling, stretching the other one out or leaving it bent. And we're holding onto the thigh, or you could hold on further up. And we're just pressing that leg towards the floor while we're drawing our arms towards us. Pressing, 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 feeling the strength of our muscles. Good. All right, let's bend that leg, put it down, and lift your other leg up. We're going to roll onto our side and come onto our hands and knees. And we'll just do some shoulder work that we do often. And we're going to lift our right arm up and bring it down and through. And lift our right arm up and bring it down and through. And this time we're going to drop it onto the floor, our shoulder. And so we're on the side of our head. You can leave that other hand, palm flat on the ground if you need the balance, or you can lift your arm up, bend the elbow, draw the back of your hand towards the base of your spine or around your waist in a bind. And when you do that, you can lift that shoulder up. So you're deepening the twist. And breathe into that open side body, and your heart is stretching up towards the ceiling, imagining it's going to be able to turn around to look at the sun. And we're breathing, inhaling and exhaling. All right, let's put that hand down, lift the arm up and put it on the ground, and then raise the other arm up and sweep it through that keyhole, exhaling, and then inhaling up, sweep it through the keyhole, and just let that shoulder reach the ground, towards the ground anyway. And I'm lifting the other arm up, putting the back of the hand on my sacrum or around in a bind. And here I'm once again lifting that shoulder up and feeling the intensification of that twist as my heart reaches towards the sky. And we're breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's put our hand down and both hands down. And we're going to come back just into a child's pose and stretch our arms out. And here my fingers are moving away from me while my tailbone, I'm stretching my tailbone back in a lovely elongation of the spine here. Now walk towards the right and really stretch the right thigh, and then stretch the left hand in one direction and the left hip in the other. Good. And now come walk the other way, stretching the right arm and the right hip in oppositional directions. And we're breathing through the side body. All right, let's come back onto our hands and knees. If you might want padding under your knees. And we're going to just do our bird dog. Just put it away. So we're just lifting our right arm up, palm towards our torso, and our left leg is moving back. And I'm pressing out through the heel here, but you can also press out through the toe. We could rotate our ankle, turning our foot in one direction and then turning it in another. And we'll do that again, turning one direction and turning the other. Good. Now we're going to draw the elbow towards the knee, exhaling, and then stretching out. Exhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, stretching out. Good. Both hands on the ground. We'll lift the other arm and leg up. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just rotate our ankle. This is a good distraction. So we're in a kind of very strong pose. And we are diverting our attention to our cranky little ankles. Good. All right, now let's draw that knee in. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. One last time. Exhale and inhale. Arms down and legs down. Good. Let's just turn our toes under and press back into a bit of a toe squat. And here we're just going to sit with our toes. You might want to turn your baby toe under. Now, if this is too much for you, you can just go back and forth towards that. Or you can sit up and just take a break while you stretch out your toes, which is very good for your balance, which we know as we age is essential for our life, really, because we don't want to fall. So mobile toes help us with our stability. We're going to lift our arms up, look at our fingers, and then open them up. Arms up and open them up. And then arms wide, and then clasp your shoulders, draw your arms, your forearms together, and then you could just be here, or you could be here, or you could be here. And if you're in the full pose, or if you have your elbows forward, see if you can draw your elbows up and your arms away from your body. So you're just deepening the stretch. Now that might be too much, in which case you can go back to the original space. Good, and we're just holding here. You can come out of the toe squat anytime. Now we're lifting up, and we're going to go the other way, clasp our shoulders, draw our forearms together, and then you can clasp your hands if you like. And once again, lifting elbows up and extending them forward. And breathing, feeling the back body is very open here. So you can imagine your breath is just inhaling and filling up your back ribs. Inhale. Good. Open your arms out, and then we'll come forward. We'll slap the front of our feet, which will feel really liberating at this point. Very good. All right. So let's go into puppy pose here. So I have my hips above my knees, and I'm just stretching my arms out, walking them forward, and I am feeling my shoulders open up here. Good. All right. All right. So let's walk our hands back and just sit back on our heels and see how we're feeling. Feel your chest open up, your collarbone lift. Your heart is open. Find that space that you entered at the beginning of the class. All right, so let's lift up, and I'm going to take my left foot and press it into the ground. And I'm just going to, once again, just lift up here, look up, and open out. And now I'm going to stretch my foot out and just open these hamstrings a little bit. So I'm going to draw my hands back. Now you could put your fingers on the ground, or you could draw your hands back and come forward towards your leg here, looking at the mat. And then I'm putting the foot down, coming forward. And here you can come all the way forward, but then you're not really opening this up. So if we kind of have more of a closer to an upright position, we really can feel the hip flexors opening and the front of the thigh. And here you could open your arms up. You could open your arms into stop sign, really feeling that heart lifting up here, and then lift up and then down again, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Good. All right, let's just come forward, and we'll just draw that knee back, and we'll do it on the other side. So here we are with pressing our foot into the ground. We'll come back, we'll open up that hamstring all the way to the calf. You could draw your toes back here, or you could put your hands on the ground, or you could draw your arms back and balance here. Really pressing that heel out, or you could draw the heel towards you. It kind of intensifies the stretch if you imaginatively draw it towards you. Good. And now we're going to put our foot down. And once again, we're going to come up with our really feeling that hip flexor in the front. And you find that place where you can feel it stretching a little. And then we're going to open our arms up and then come down, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. All right, let's put our hands down, and we're going to come down onto our belly and just do a couple of back bends. We did a brief one in the bridge when we began, but we're going to just let's put our forehead on our hands, just making a pillow with our hands. You can turn your big toes in to face each other and just take a few breaths here. Good. All right. Put your hands underneath your shoulders, and we'll just lift our shoulders up, our chest, and then our head into a low cobra here. Breathing. Our elbows should be towards our torso, and we're just breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're rolling down. And we'll do that one more time. Pressing up, breathing. Good. And roll down. Draw your hands out to your side. Press your fingers into the floor, lifting your elbows up. We're going to draw our shoulders up, then our chest, and then our head into a higher and deeper back bend here. Breathing. You shouldn't feel any pain in your lower back. If you do, you come down. Good, and roll down. And one last time here, the same thing, rolling up, inhaling. And rolling down. Good. Now let's draw our hands along our torso. Our palms can be up. Well, let's put them down, and then we'll really open our shoulders out here. So let's put our palms down right beside our thighs here. And we're going to just roll our shoulders up, our chest and our head, and then lift your arms. And if you feel like it, you can lift your legs up, pointing your toes. And we're working with our back body, pressing our pelvis into the ground and feeling real opening in our heart. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling down. Good. All right, let's put our hands underneath our shoulders and come back into our, we can draw our toes under, and we're going to stretch back our belly towards our knees. Our knees are bent. And now we're going to tilt our tailbone to the ceiling, straighten our legs, and then lower our heels. So we're in a sneaky pose that we have found ourselves in. So here we are, downward dog, and we're breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And while we're doing that, we're drawing our thighs back, and we are rotating our upper arms out so that our head is let loose. We can really let it settle towards the floor. Good. All right. And let's lift our right leg up and bend the knee, draw it in towards the opposite knee, exhaling, and then extend it back, draw it in towards the center and back, draw it in, exhaling towards the same knee, same elbow and back, and then put it down. We're going to do the other side. Just draw that stretch that leg out and draw the knee in towards the opposite elbow and stretch it back into the center, exhaling and stretch it back and in towards the other side and stretch it back. Good. And put both feet down, settling the heels towards the mat. And now we are just going to walk our hands back towards our feet. And you can have your knees bent or you can have them straight. We're dangling here, feeling we're going to pedal our feet out and feel really a sense of beautiful release. Our lower body, our legs are quite strong here because we're grounding them, but our upper torso is just loosey-goosey. We can shake it a little, really just let it loose. You could put the side of your hands into the crook of your elbow and use that as a little bit of a weight to ground you. And once again, you can just bend one knee and the other, allowing yourself to really feel the release of this dangling pose. Good. All right, we're going to do we've done this before, some of us. So we're just going to put our right hand right below our head. So you could be here, you could be up on a block. And we're going to just bend our right knee and lift our left knee up to the ceiling and straighten our left leg and extend your torso out. So it's a twist here. Now we're going to come down and do the other side. Good. And once again, inhaling and exhaling while we're here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And let's come down again. We'll take a few breaths on the other side with that lovely open heart, open chest. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll draw both our hands down, dangle for a moment. And then we'll draw our hands up our shins and do a little bit of a back bend here in the halfway lift. And we will then down again into a forward fold. And then we're going to lift all the way up with our arms open and our thumbs up. Good. All right. Sorry, I just have to figure this out. Okay. All right, here we go. So we're halfway through our class, and we're going to do some standing poses. Here we go. So I just want to say to Mary, if my daughter's here, and I'm sure I would love to see you meet, because Mary actually met us at the airport when we arrived from China in 1999. So I would really love that, because Bo is here for another few days. All right. So let's open our legs out. And we're just going to have our legs wide. And I'm pushing back on my thighs. Now, I don't hyperextend. If you hyperextend, then you'll want to bend your knees slightly. But I can push back quite a bit. And I don't think nothing's going to happen to my knees at this point. So here we go. I'm going to draw in that seatbelt here, just about 25%. And I've got my hands on my hip creases, and I'm just going to tilt over here. So here you could have blocks if you like, or you could come down to the ground. And here I'm just tilting my tailbone up, and I'm going to bend one knee and stretch out, and then the other. And if you like, you can do Skandasana, which is lifting that leg up, that foot up, and coming back and forth. Now, full Skandasana, you're kind of up and about doing this, which I find quite difficult, but you do you. And but this is really, I like doing this. It feels like play. All right. Very nice. Good. And now I'm turning my feet back in, and I'm going to walk towards my right leg. And I might be up here, which is fine. And then I'm just going to open my elbows and come down slightly. Or I could be here, or I could be down here. And we're just stretching and feeling the comfort of an inversion. These inversions are good for us. Now I'm walking over to the other side. And once again, you could be up here, or you could be down here, opening up the elbows and feeling a sense of release here. And then coming back again. I'm stretching my arms out as far as I can. I might be up on blocks, and I'm on the floor. Then I'm walking my hands back. The heels of my hands are between are on the ground, so as far back as they can go. It doesn't have to be all the way back towards between your feet, but it could be. And then my elbows are pressing back. And I'm just letting my head drop. I could have my knees bent here if that's too much. And this is just the beginning of the tripod headstand. So I'm preparing you for the inevitable tripod headstand we are all going to accomplish in this lifetime, I am sure. I once did it about 40 years ago, I think. All right. Now hands on your hips, and we'll just come all the way up here. Good. And now let's stand in Tadasana and feel how we're feeling. We can shake our arms out. We can shake our legs out. We can jiggle. We can integrate all of that movement into our body and feel how it feels. Good. All right. So we're going to do some standing poses right now. It's very challenging for me. So fortunately, I have a lot of architecture around me to hold on to. So here we go. We're just lifting our left leg up very high. and then we're lifting it towards the inside, and then the outside, and then we're lifting it over a fence and back, and then we're lifting it up and over a fence and towards the front and back again, over that fence and lifting it up high over the fence and then back again. Good. Now we're going to lift our foot up, you could have it in a kickstand here, you could have it on your shin, or you could have it further up. So I like it further up. And I am really grounding my foot here. I'm lifting my toes up and spreading them, feeling how the foot is supported by those arches. And I'm putting my hands in prayer pose, hopefully. And I'm finding a drishti or a stable site somewhere, location, somewhere on the floor in front of me, a spot where I can focus. And then I could perhaps lift my arms up. You do you. You might have other things you do. You might do twists or handstands, flips. I don't know. All right. Very good. Now let's lift that knee up and come down, and we'll do the other side. All right. So we'll do the same thing. This is just hip opening here. So lifting your leg up and drawing it in. You might find your balance is better on one side than the other, which is my case. Lift it high up over that fence and then in and then out over the fence and up over that fence. And one last time, up over that fence and back again. And then we're putting our foot in our thigh and we're pressing the thigh into the foot into the thigh. And here we are, hands in prayer pose or wherever they find themselves, finding that drishti, that point somewhere in front of you that affords you stability and grace. And you're breathing here. Good. Now lift that knee up, inhaling, and put it down. Good. All right, let's see how our legs are feeling. We can do some hip movements along the floor. Just do some twirling around here. I'm very happy to be able to twirl my hips around. As I mentioned to some of you, I once took tango lessons and asked my partner I was doing, and they said, "Oh, you're doing well, Janice, but you have to move your hips." And I realized I couldn't move my hips at all. So yoga has given me back my hips. All right. So let's take a wide stance here, and we'll just go right into our triangle pose. So the kind of the watchword here is the width of your legs is the length of your leg. Now that can change depending on your flexibility. So here we go. I'm shifting my hips back slightly and drawing my arm down my shin here and lifting my other arm out. And I'm trying to elongate the bottom part of my torso so I'm not hunched over here. So I'm can't go down quite as far, but it's a much better pose here. All right, I'm looking up at my hand and I'm breathing, feeling these ribs that are open in both sides, that my breath is moving into them. Good. And now let's open up and turn our feet to the other side. And we'll just, once again, come back, drawing that seatbelt in and drawing ourselves over, extending our torso out and lifting up. And then opening out and coming back the other way. We'll do that one more time on each side in your own time. So I'll just do it in my time. It might be yours. You might do it differently. Breathing all the time. Inhale and exhale. Good. All right. So let's come back to our wide leg stance. We'll turn that foot out again and bend the front knee into warrior two. And you might want to widen your stance. It depends on your legs. So you decide. And here, I one of my teachers always says down, down, down. So so you're trying to go straight down the center. You're not leaning over. All right. So down, down, down. Now we're extending out, and we're going to put our forearm down, lift our arm up, and look, twist our body beautifully, feeling that lovely opening. Good. Pressing into the front foot. We're going to come back into warrior two, and then we are going to just tilt back into gentle warrior with the leg bent, and then open out, and then stretch out again. And this time we're going to straighten the front leg and come up, inhaling over into gentle warrior. Good. And once again, we're going to exhale down and inhale over. Turning our ribs towards the ceiling, our heart open. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. And then exhale back into warrior two. Inhale up into gentle warrior. And breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling into our warrior two. And then stretching out for the last time and over, feeling the tension between our fingertips and the outside edge of our back heel. And we are rotating our ribs up towards the ceiling. Good. All right, straighten that leg, and we'll come up and turn the feet around. We'll do the other side. So here we go. Down, down, down into warrior two. And once again, my behind tends to go out, so I'm tilting my pelvis forward and drawing up. I'm trying to get that xiphoid process at the base of the sternum and my pelvis in line. And I'm going down. Pressing back on the thigh, opening my arms up. We'll take a look at the front arm and feel the strength of this pose. We really need to be warriors in this life, women. All right. Let's stretch our arm forward. Our forearm comes down, and we're stretching from the fingertips to the outside edge of the back foot. And we are feeling the strength of this pose. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Arms up into warrior two and back into just a gentle warrior. Good. Back into warrior two. Exhale. Inhale up. And we'll take several breaths here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then back into warrior two, stretching up, straight leg, and back. Exhale down into warrior two. Inhale over into extended side angle. Exhale down, warrior two. Inhale up into gentle warrior. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale into warrior and inhale up, gentle warrior. Good. Let's take our feet to the front again and just wiggle them in to standing. And let's stand in Tadasana and see how we're doing. Just get that sense of that inner listening we did a little bit of at the very beginning, opening our heart, listening to our heart, finding our grounding, our centeredness. You might rock forward onto the toe pads and back towards your heels, and then find a place of centeredness on your feet. It might be near the back of your instep, your arch, so that you are really have your hips above your ankles and your torso is aligned. And you feel that magnanimous puppeteer drawing your crown chakra, the top of your head, up towards the stars. And your arms, your hands are loose. Your breath is coming easily. All right, we're going to just go towards our mat, and we'll do one sun salutation on each side. So here we go. So we are standing at the end of the mat, lifting up, looking up, and then coming forward. Now, if you are recovering from an injury or something, you could just do the first part of this a few times. And then we're going to draw our hands up, and you don't have to come all the way down. There we go. I'm drawing my right leg back and then my left, and I'm in a plank. And I'm going to hold it here for a moment or two. You're feeling the strength of our arms. Good. Pushing into my heels. Drawing my belly up, my navel up. Good. Now I'm coming down either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, in which case the chaturanga, I'm shifting forward slightly and then coming down. And then I'm coming up into a low cobra or an upward dog. So here we are, upward dog, low cobra. And I feel the opening, my heart moving through the gateway of my arms. And now I'm turning my toes under and coming back into downward dog, lifting my right leg up, bringing the knee to my chest, drawing it through and coming up on one knee, inhaling, exhaling, framing the front foot, drawing the last foot back, forward, and dangling. A few breaths here. Now I'm lifting up and opening out. We'll do it the other side, lifting up, looking up. A sun salutation for the new year. Coming up, halfway lift, inhaling, exhaling, forward fold, left leg back, right leg back into a plank, breathing here, and then coming down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, and then coming up into a low cobra or an upward dog. We'll just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Turn your toes under, come back into downward dog. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Lift your left leg up, bend that knee towards you, bring that foot forward, and come up on one knee, looking up. And then frame the front foot, draw that back foot forward and dangle. And here we'll just hang out, doing our bending of the knee, simply dangling. Good. Now with arms open up, we're going to welcome in that new year and look up and open out. Good. Shake it out. And we're going to come down onto the floor again. And we'll just do a little twist here that we're quite familiar with. So we'll have our knees forward, our legs forward, and we'll take our right leg cross it over the left and draw you can keep this leg out if you like, or you can draw it in. And we're going to turn towards that leg. So if this is the right leg up, we put our right arm behind us, lift our left arm up, and come forward. You could clasp that leg and twist around here. And as we're twisting, we're lifting up. All right, let's come back around, press into the floor, lift up in a counter twist. Good. And then we'll just stretch our legs out. Shake them out a little. And take the other leg over top and draw that foot in so you're moving in the other direction. And here we're going to press our hand behind us into the floor and feel that elongation of the spine of that magnanimous puppeteer. Lift the arm up, we're lifting up, and we're turning from the waist as we go towards that knee, and we're clasping the knee or using it as a lever. Pressing that front foot into the ground, and inhale, lift up, and exhale, turn. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, turn. And last time, inhale, lift up, and exhale, turn. Good. All right. Let's come back. The counter twist briefly. Very nice. And we'll just stretch our legs out again. And just tilt forward with from your hip creases and with a straight back here. So we're not going to strain our back. If we have a bad back, this is just where we go. We stay here. If we have more flexibility in our spine, then we can come forward. You could hold on to your shins. We could have a strap here, or you could be up here or up here. It's really of no consequence. You are listening to your own body and your own heart and finding your way towards a forward fold. So you do you. We'll just rest here for a moment or two. Good. And then we'll come up. Good. Let's sit in our diamond-shaped butterfly pose. This is a yin yoga pose. Our Baddha Konasana in hatha yoga is here. We stretch our feet out a bit, and the tops of our feet open out. Our heels are together. And I like to hold on to my ankles here and just draw myself towards my feet with a straight back. So that really, and here I'm just using my determination and my bodily strength to just try and lower my legs down. So it's not a terrible strain. It's just a movement towards that. All right, good. And now I'm just going to turn once again and put my hand on my thigh, lift up, and do another twist. This is a more modest twist than we did before, but we'll see how that feels. And then we'll come back the other way and do another twist, opening that heart up. All right, good. And we'll come back and come down onto our backs. Let's lift our feet up, our legs up, bend our knees into our chest. And then if you're up for it, lift your legs up and just let them sort of hang there very loose. Just let your leg bones settle into your hip bones, and you can shake them slightly. Just really feel the release of those legs. And once again, let's lift our arms up. Let's do dead bug again, feeling the release of any tension or pressure that you experience. All right. Good. And then let's just bend our knees into our chest, open our knees up, and do Happy Baby, because we can. Now, here in Happy Baby, you might be holding on to here, which is fine, or you might hold the outside edge of your feet and draw your knees towards the floor. Now, here, it's really, our tailbone tends to curl up. What happens if we if we take our tailbone and try and stretch it out along the floor to extend our spine, elongate our spine from the tailbone all the way up? And we can also tilt our chin towards our chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Good. Very nice. We can rock a little bit here. Feel a sense of rest and repose. Very nice. Breathing easily. And let's put our feet on the ground again and stretch our feet out wide as the mat. And we're going to windshield wash our legs. So we're going to drop one knee in and the other knee out. And then we're going to go the other way, back and forth. Just really relaxing and massaging our hips and our lower body. Good. All right. So let's just extend our legs out. We're moving into Shavasana. Now, you might want to go to a wall and lift your legs up the wall. You might want to be on your stomach or on your side, or you might want to sit up for final relaxation. There are lots of ways of finding a space of relaxation. I'm just going to settle into the floor, and I'm jiggling a little, as I want to do, and I'm really feeling my shoulder blades going down my back. I'm lifting my shoulders up and drawing my shoulder blades under my back. And I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to lift my hips up and just settle the back into the ground so that there's a natural curvature of the spine, but nothing too crazy. And I am just really letting go here. And I love that image of being able to let go like a leaf effortlessly. And we're inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. My feet are relaxed, my ankles, my shins, my calves, knees, thighs. My pelvis is relaxed, my hips, my glutes, my lower back, my middle back, my upper back. I'm turning my head from side to side gently. My fingers are relaxed, my hands, my arms, shoulders, chest, breast, ribs, belly. And I'm breathing, feeling my heart open to the sky. And your awareness is inside, behind your breath. You feel a deep sense of release, of wholeness, of peace. And in that cave of your heart, where you discovered a quality you wanted to embody for the class, you want to look there and see what else is in your heart. What else you want to open up in the new year. And as you rest in deep relaxation, you embody that quality. It It saturates your whole being. You are present in this moment, just as you are, perfect in every way. In your own time, you can feel the energy moving through your body, all of that beautiful energy that we massaged and shifted and twisted and turned and activated during our class. You can feel it all harmoniously animating your body as you move yourself back into this present moment. You might stretch out. You might draw your knees into your chest. You might rock a little bit. And eventually find yourself turning to one side and coming up. And I will thank you all for joining me today. And the teacher in me and the student in me sees and honors the teacher and student in you. The light in me sees and honors the light in every one of you. And I'm very grateful for you joining me here. It's been a beautiful morning to gather the last day of 2025. I'm happy to see it go. I have to say it's been a challenging year, but next year is another year full of possibilities. So let's give a gift to ourselves of hope and celebration. Deep bows to all of you.